Here's your word for the day from Calvary in Lake Havasu. Visit us on the web at calvaryaz.com.
Hey there, thanks for tuning into Your Word for the Day from Calvary. It is good to have you here today. As we get started, I got a question. Have you ever had an experience where you forgot a big chunk of memories? Maybe you had a physical injury, a brain injury where you lost some memories, a car accident, a traumatic event, maybe a medical condition. Maybe you went a long period without sleep and forgot some memories. There's all kinds of things that can do that, but I also think that if we're not intentional, just the passing of time can cause us to forget things until we cause ourselves to slow down and remember what had happened. I don't always remember what happened 5, 7, 10, 15 years ago, and sometimes I can catch myself repeating patterns and thoughts because I don't slow down and remember, oh, what did happen there? And I share all this because we have an instance in the book of Mark that we've been working through and studying together where it seems the disciples have forgotten what's happened. And as I begin to share the story, you may be like, wait, didn't we already talk about this? Here's what I mean. Mark chapter 8, starting in verse 1, it says, "And that day again there was a great crowd, and they had nothing to eat. And Jesus called his disciples and said, I have compassion on the crowd, because they've been with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat. If I send them away hungry to their homes, they'll faint on the way. And some of them have come from far away." And his disciples answered, "And how can one feed these people with bread here in this desolate place?" Maybe like, wait, didn't we already have this? Yeah, in chapter 6. If you go back middle of the way through chapter 6, we see the same event happen. Jesus is teaching a crowd. People are there. They need food. The disciples are, how are we going to do this? And Jesus miraculously feeds them, 5,000 people in that case. So is this a repeat? Did Mark forget that he wrote one of these? No, it's a separate event. Keep reading verse 5. And Jesus says, "How many loaves do you have?" And they said, 7. And he directed the crowd to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves, and having given thanks, he broke them and gave them to the disciples to set before the people. And they set them before the crowd. And they had a few small fish, and blessing them, he said that they should be set before them. And they ate and were satisfied. And they took the broken pieces left over, 7 baskets full, 1 basket for each loaf that they started with. There were about 4,000 people in this instance, and they sent them away. And they went on the boat and went to the district of Dalmanutha. Why is this included here? Because we've already gotten one miraculous feeding event. The other one's better. It's 5,000 people. This is 4,000 people. I think, one, Mark wants us to see just the rhythm of which Jesus did the miraculous and incredible in his ministry. But I think also to show us the danger of spiritual amnesia. The disciples had seen this. They'd participated in the same type of event, and yet for reasons that we don't know completely, we don't know the time there's between them exactly and what was going on kind of mentally and logistically, but they roll into this event forgetting what had taken place. Maybe it's because Jesus did so many amazing things, they forgot all of them in the moment. But I wonder if we can do the same thing, and we forget what God has done in our life. So when new situations come up, we scramble and go, what are we going to do? What could happen? And God is like, well, I'm going to do the same thing that I've always done in your life, because I am a God who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so I want to challenge you to not forget the things that God has done. Not forget the ways he has changed your life, he has redeemed you, he has set you free, he has blessed your life. And maybe there's a good rhythm you can establish in your life of journaling, of documenting, of taking written record, or establishing some kind of physical reminders around you to remind you of the ways that God has blessed you. Because if we can look back at the ways God has worked and blessed our life, I know that it can give us great confidence and hope for how he will help us through new situations as they arise, to where we don't have to scramble and worry like the disciples, but we can sit back and go, hey, God, I know that you've got this, and I'm just going to watch. So don't fall into spiritual amnesia, but instead, remember the ways that God has blessed you, and let that build your faith and your hope in him. We'll see you next time.